Hello YouTube, I'm here with you today to present the ultimate guide to disco floors. In this guide, I have every design, every floor I've possibly came up with, and I'm going to present them all to you in this super cool guide to making all your disco floors come true. And afterwards I'll post this world in the description so you'll be able to play on it and learn by yourself. So why don't we get started with a brief review of just a basic rule of thumb when dealing with redstone lamps. To get individual control of your redstone lamps, you want a block in front of it, because if you have it like this block will power that block next to it, and so when you turn it off, it's not good. It doesn't work very well. When you have it like that, each one is powered individually, and that's what we always have to keep in mind when we make anything with these redstone lamps, for the most part. So first of all, we want to see the basic disco floor. This is the first one I built. It's your average disco floor. When you turn it on, it just starts going away. And that's pretty cool, nice and tidy. This next version is a bit more compact. The design still looks, each time you make it, the design might change a bit, but you've got your, it all looks cool, but this is a bit less complicated and uses a bit less materials than that one. Alright, next we have the wall designs, and I'll present each of them to you, starting with the first. This design is called the Flash, and I've shown most of these to you before in another video, but I'll just go over them again. So this one's the Flash, and it's not too complicated. It's pretty self-explanatory. Alright, now we have the diverging wall, and basically the current starts in the middle and spreads out to the outside. So you've got this sort of an effect going on. Alright, now we have the converging wall, and basically it does the exact opposite of the diverging wall. It starts from the outside and goes into the middle. So we have a pattern that looks a bit like this, or it looks exactly like this, I guess I should say. And that's just another design. Now here we have a checker pattern. This was in my first Disco Room V2 video, but it's just another pretty simple pattern I made. And it looks, a bit like a checkerboard, and it might match your other disco floors that you made. Now this design I call the snake, and as you can see, it just kind of circles the whole room. It's kind of cool. You can also use this as a floor or ceiling. Doesn't have to be a wall. That's why I left the top open. And additionally, you can make it into the dual snake, and that looks pretty cool as well. Now this one, I wasn't really sure of what kind of a name to call it, so I just called it the long square. I don't know why I called it that. Basically, it kind of looks like it starts up and then it powers down, kind of like it's charging. And again, you can increase or decrease the delay to give it a different look. That makes it more rapid. It kind of looks like a slinky almost. Maybe that's what I'll call it a slinky. Alright. Now this design is a combination of a few walls. It starts out with a diverging wall, then it goes along the side, and it ends with a converging wall. So it looks like it starts and it stops. These two chickens know how to get groovy and down, so they're in there funking pretty hard. Funking, I said funk. Anyway. And lastly, we have this design, which is just a mixture of the diverging, converging, diverging, converging. And it just gives a different look to it. So and again, we have some pretty cool chickens inside here. So when you're ready to build your own disco floor, just go ahead and use a combination of any of these. Do whatever you want. Make it look your best, like exactly how you want it. Next on the list, we have floor designs, and I have 5 different floor designs for you. So first of all, the one that you've always seen, we've got this basic checkerboard pattern. And the checkerboard pattern looks a bit better in this one. It's more synchronized once it all gets going. So you've got your basic checkerboard pattern. And then you got this two spiral patterns that I made up. Now these patterns are pretty sick. So we start out, and so you've got the lights that just kind of spiral around. This one spirals in, and you can change the delay on it, give it a bit different feel or look, whatever you want. This design does the exact opposite, and here it is. So it's just starts spiraling out. It's pretty cool design in my opinion. Also, if you guys will take the time to hit that little like button, that'd be really helpful, since I painstakingly made every single design for you over and over again on each of these floors. It would be really appreciated to do that. Now on this floor, it's sort of, I think of it like a portal, as you could say. And for some reason, this design is really laggy, so take that into mind when you're building this. You can kind of just see the frames per second on, and it looks pretty cool though. Looks really nice, but it just really slows down your computer. And then this is the same thing except opposite again, because I like to be yeah. There you go. So there's that design. Next, we have what I already showed you over here, this little enclosed area, and it's just an example of what you could do as far as a disco floor using everything together. So you've got the floor, and you've got the walls, and you've got the ceiling effect. Now I haven't talked much about any sort of ceiling design, mainly because it's just so straightforward. I kind of just didn't think to do anything. I guess if you wanted, you could make a neat design or something on it, but I haven't really gotten too much into that. Mainly just because I just didn't want to do a floor of any kind, or a ceiling, excuse me. Now we have another design, and it's a 7x7, just a bigger example, just to show you what your possibilities are with a disco floor. And I also, for the heck of it, added a wall, and it's diverging, and it goes down the side and it ends with a converging wall. And it looks pretty cool. You know, you might want to make something, if you want something a bit bigger, go for the 7x7, and then just to show you that the walls still apply, you just make them a bit bigger on the outside. And that's your basic 7x7. Now we've got a bit of weird dimensions coming up. So first we've got this 8x16. An 8x16, it's probably about as big as you want to get. You know, you don't want to get maybe too much wider than an 8x8. 8x16 is stretching it a bit, but if you get much bigger than this, then the parts of it look like they freeze up. They're not actually freezing up. They're not like loading, I guess that's how you would say it. It looks frozen right there, but when you get closer to it, it starts going. And finally, the behemoth, the biggest of all floors, the 15x50, and we call it the server breaker. Now I'm not going to turn this thing on because, for obvious reasons, it'll destroy my computer, but I'll just show it to you again. And it's got, it's still got all the torches, and I think I said 2 million torches last time. That's a complete lie. It's more around 3,000, but 2 million does sound better because there's a lot of torches in here. I mean, look at that. I don't know. There's a lot of torches. I think it's over 3,000, but I'm not going to count them. That would take just as long as it took to build it. Anyway, and last but not least, we have the secret to making any size disco floor, and that's this design right here. You want your repeater, redstone, something like that, and you want this kind of pyramid effect with the torches, and then you just do that again for however many layers you want in the circular pattern and whatnot, and then you just hook them all up to your central clock, and that's the secret